Oh. All right, what's going on out there? Oh my gosh, there's people already in the chat. So what's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Um, one of those things where I need to. If you watched last night's show, can't wait to see this. All right. This is one of those things where I actually sat and took notes today. I've really got to watch what I say because it seems like anytime I decide I want to make an actual video, the three fates hit, and it's just busy, busy life. So I figure we're going to do this as a live show. And I actually have images in my head on how to make this a proper video, but we're all here together, right? And I figure the chat will really, be pretty good tonight. Okay, so as you can tell by the title of this, I'm really sad on one point that something has kind of changed lately, and hopefully it's going to pass as we go through. But comic book speculation has become ridiculous. I finally agree. People I respect have made videos. People I know in real life have made videos, and they'll take a little segment of their video to talk about some of the ridiculous things that are going on with the comic book speculation. Now, the reason I find that very sad. Am I going to need attorneys after this? I don't think so. It's not really like I'm going after anybody. Hey, see Woodward's out there. But basically, the whole point of this is that comic book speculation has always been a part of the hobby. I've done it. We've all done it. It's part of the fun of it. The problem is when it's all you do. And there's some tips out there, right? There's always going to be people out there to make money. Big deal. Okay, it's out there. But it's sort of like, I compare it to like buying a car. At some point in life, almost all of us need to go buy a car. And you kind of got to watch yourself. The salesman has got to make money, and you've got to get a good car, but you don't want to be taken or be had. And then there's sometimes you can just tell that this is a slimy car salesman who has a different kind of investment out there. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like they're out to take you for a ride. They've sized you up. And that's what bothers me, because there's a lot of people that do not have the defenses and the shields for what's going on. Oh, cool, man. Thank you. Gotta do this. This is probably my second or third one ever. We got a super chat from Mr. Gretzky. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Let's get off that, man. Thank you very much, Mr. Gretzky. I'm humbled. So basically what it is that what goes on out there, you just reach a point in life that, you can't control everything's out there, nor should we. But comic book speculation and flipping books have always been part of the hobby. I, for years, have said on this channel how for, oh my gosh, probably at least 20 years solid, I could actually honestly say my comic books paid for themselves with me finding things in cheap comic book bins and things like that, turn them over, a little bit of eBay going on and stuff like things like that. It used to be part of it, but now it's gotten way out of control to where there's a lot of people that are coming into the hobby, and they're just getting, they just don't have the life experience to realize what's going on. They're caught up in the excitement of the promises of being going to be made rich, or the gold mine. It's like a condensed version that's very intense, and they think the frequency is going to be happening all the time with this, and they're back in. And we've seen it all before. The death of Superman in '94, things like that. Anything that had to do with Wolverine forever, anything that had to do with the Punisher forever. It's always been part of it. So what this is that this is the fact that I'm the way I see it, an adult. Even though a lot of people who shave are not adults, it does not make them an adult and things like that. There are people out there who just aren't knowledgeable about what's going on. They see a great flashy show and they see this excitement, and they go to eBay and they see that these things are really selling, and they don't realize a lot of this is being manipulated. YouTube, online, being online with social media and Twitter and stuff is not the end all be all of this hobby. By jumping into the comic book speculation and being reactionary and kind of blindly listening to speculators who have an investment, talking to you makes you pretty much have you're not doing yourself justice in building your skills at gaining comics if you go out into the real world with comic book conventions, flea markets, sellers, comic book shops, things like that. You're blindly taking the easy way, thinking that somebody is telling you. So while I was at work, I came up with 10 to 11. I'm actually made a list. I sat down and I wrote this list. It was amazing. When I was driving to work, bam, this list came in my head of things that I've seen before. This is from life experience. This is from trying to watch some speculation videos out there. This is from seeing things on Instagram. I mean, I've been doing this hobby since 1977. I have been ripped off before, but that's a hard lesson to learn. We all need to go through it. So this is the kind of thing that you're an adult. It's your money. Do what you want. There are people out there who love the excitement of the comic book speculation. They love the excitement of seeing these books and being reactionary and being in the now. And they're not really thinking ahead. Like, okay, WandaVision came out. A bunch of Scarlet Witch stories and Vision stories have become valuable for now. But you should be thinking ahead if you're going to be playing that game. Let's go to the Falcon in the Winter Soldier book that's coming out. That's part of the fun, what's coming up, but that's not what's going on. Yeah, I've actually got something to say here. A lot of people have already picked up on some of the things I'm going to be bringing up because they've seen it. So maybe I'll go through comments, but let's get through the list here, okay? Fresh off of work, did not have time to make a proper video, so let's do this. So with what I'm going to say here is that I got 10 or 11 things here. Some of them tied together. Now, part of what I've been trained in over the years is that this is called a DSM-4. And what it is, it's a bunch of diagnosis for mental and emotional needs and stuff, right? And if you go through this, you'll see that a lot of things have the same symptoms. You know what I mean? Sleeplessness and things like that. And a general rule of thumb is you find something where at least you have 3. So basically, some people who speculate are really in it for the love of the comics. I hate painting a broad stroke out here, but there are still some good people out there who are just doing this for the love of comics and a game, a little bit of a gamble. You know what I mean? They get their adrenaline rush from it. And there's people who are out just to make a buck, and we'll go over that. So what I want to say is that it's not really trying to take anybody down or target anybody, but going by the chat and stuff, you guys have all got names right there on the edge of your lips and stuff. In the future, there could be other speculators that pop up here, right? So just because you see a channel that might have one of these, it doesn't mean they're bad. Not all, if you see somebody that's got all of these on my list, doesn't mean they're bad. It's a mixture of it. 1, 2, no big deal, because we all do the speculating game. It's part of the hobby. Okay, so with that said, number 1, they have something to sell. A lot of these are going to tie in together. They come on out there and they build up their audience and then they sell. This does not mean that's a bad thing. There are people doing Kickstarters and crowdfunding, and they're doing things for their books and things that they're making their own books. Okay, there's really nothing too wrong with that, as long as it's out front and honest. You know what I mean? People put advertising on their YouTube channel. Does not mean they're evil, but that's your first flag. Oh, they have something to sell. Anytime somebody has something to sell, their job is now to take the money out of your pocket. And that's where you should have, in my opinion, enough life experience to go back and forth with this. Is this a good idea? This is my money. You're wanting my money. That's just how a lot of the world works. Okay. Number 2, they only do speculation. The problem with this is that, of course, there are channels who do speculation and people can be knowledgeable, and this is a good guide for people who want to play that game. Again, like I said, I hate that there's now this big, huge stigma on flipping books and speculation because, like I said, it was a part of it. I can't get over that, right? But you got to be, but to have a regular channel, if you have a regular column in a magazine, to have a regular anything where all you do is talk about comic book speculation and books, the market does not move that fast constantly and all the time. You're not always going to have books that are just freaking hot left and right, week to week, changing that much. Okay. You could have a good month. You could have a good week. You could have a good 2 or 3 months, but then it's like things sort of level out. They reach homeostasis, if you will. The hot books are still the hot books. There's not always something coming out. And what they've done is they've tricked people into being reactionary, thinking that anything could be a key. All right. Anything could be a key. The first time they ate a hamburger in a comic book. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I go back and forth on is like the first cover appearance of a character. Okay, it's up for debate and things like that, right? But not every book is going to be a key book. It just doesn't work that way. There are standards, you know. They target a young audience. And again, this by itself is not a bad thing. You have a demographic, or you're young yourself. You know how to talk to the kids out there. You know what I mean? Or the young adults or something, right? My strength is talking to people over 30. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting to be where it's over 40 and stuff. That's a strength. But you combine this with the other things on this list, and then that should be a red flag to you. But they target an audience. They target a young audience by a lot of flash, okay? A lot of certain music in their videos for intros and things like that. There's ways to pull people into where you look like a young show and you're all cool. Maybe you're showing off your tats and all this stuff. Maybe you're speaking the hip lingo. You know what I mean? But you're coming off like it's a party and it's fun. And why do you want that young audience? That's going to tie into another thing on this list pretty soon, where you do not engage a seasoned collector, but you want those young people because they're not as knowledgeable. And let's face it, I mean, I'm just going to say it. Let's just bury it here right in the sand and say it. But younger people are seen to be more naive and easier to influence. Okay. With social media and things, they actually have things called influencers out there as part of their culture. People whose whole job is to be on Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook, mostly Twitter and stuff. And they're internet influencers and stuff, culture influencers, all kinds of names and things like that. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is there's a culture apart where they kind of look and trust people there, and where they're young and inexperienced and naive. I can honestly look back and say that I have gone through the fire. I have been burned, and I learned from it. Okay. And that's one of the things that sometimes you just got to back up. And you can put out information to people, but in the long run, they have to make up their own mind. Okay, that's what I'm wanting to put up here, right? And we've got tons of people popping in. So I'm just saying, as I go over this list, just because there's one thing that may match with some of what you've seen out there with these speculators, it doesn't mean they're out to get you. Even if they have all of them, it doesn't mean they're out to get you. But if you start having a couple of the things on this list, it might be time to wake up. Okay. The fourth thing that I have is they use eBay for a guide, a comic book pricing guide. Is they go by eBay prices. Okay, what they think this does is validate their statements. Their very comments, videos, and everything like that will have a bunch of people run off their video and run over to eBay, and depending on how many people have watched the video and stuff, it creates an illusion that this book is now hot. Okay. This has gone on for years, specifically through YouTube. I've seen channels over the years that will come out, have the hot books, tell people you have to get it. And they found out that those were the sellers. It got so bad with one guy, I think it was like around 2014, that somebody actually stood outside of the P.O. box, and this YouTuber was driving from another town to a P.O. box. And the guy was waiting, and he saw him pick up a package or his payment or something. So there have been people who have used their audience to, run a book up, hype it up, make it look like it's worth more. You have things like Comic Book Realm Price Guide, Overstreet Price Guide. Certain magazines they used to be Overstreet, and there used to be a wizard with a price guide in the back, and they were color coded for books that were hot and they were going up. But the magic word in that is guide. Okay, Guide, right? This is just something to go by to give you an idea of what's in the ballpark. You have grade. The worse shape a book is, a certain percentage starts coming out of how much that book is worth, all the way up to a gem mint. You go over to eBay, and it's like it's reactionary, and it's whatever people want to charge. Now, the thing is that look where you're going. eBay is a place people go to make money. Okay, you follow what I'm saying? I myself, will say it that I have used eBay to make money. I had Alias, Brian Mendes's Alias book, Jessica Jones or whatever. I put that thing on eBay about 4 times over a course of, I don't know, 10 years. Nobody touched it. Right? Nobody touched it. I had it down to $10 for every issue. They announced that the show is coming on Netflix that Friday night. I had it on eBay, sold for $125. Right? That's what I'm trying to get at. It's there if you want it. People make their own choices to follow that, but these mass of people that's going out there and they're trying to make it a standard for eBay, that spreads harm. That causes people to they're teaching them the wrong things. A price guide with that word guide puts you in the ballpark, and a book and about anything else you own, realistically, unless you're playing the game in whatever the hobby is, or whatever your genre, anything like that, cars, houses, anything. The reality is something is only worth as much as somebody is willing to pay for it. And I would really like to see people start having some dignity, and some people to start standing up and decide that they are not going to be a victim anymore and have people rip them off and then just throw their money. I would love to see that. All right. So big time using eBay as a comic book price guide. That's been a problem for a while, even before all the big speculation that's been hitting over the last year. Now, a lot of this has really started from, well, I'll get to that. Okay. I got a list here. We're going to stick with it. Okay. They are going to make you rich. Anything that is free, or anything that is supposed to help you, or anything that says that we're going to help you make money, is dangerous. Okay. There is some fine print somewhere. There is a price to be paid. There is nothing free out there that's coming at you. Okay. Just the fact that some stranger, somebody you do not know, even in a magazine, if it's an article, a commercial promising that or anything, and it says that we're going to make you money, wake up. Okay? That's all there is to it. That is a big red flag. Stop being a dreamer. Okay. Oh, wow. We got tons of people popping up in here. Okay. So if they promise to make you rich, you have to ask, why aren't they already rich? Why would they share this? And you are going to find out that you are helping make them rich, almost like a Ponzi scheme. Okay. I've had people try to recruit me into a pyramid scheme. Same thing. Everybody's working for them. We're all going to make big money. Nobody makes money for a year except the person on top of the pyramid. And it's supposed to like trickle down from there. All kinds of things to look out for when you do that. Okay. You follow me? Okay. And then that comes back to the next one. This is what I've always noticed. This really kills me with comic book influencers out there, anti-SJW channels, speculators, and a lot of people is when they talk about hot books or things you should be buying and stuff, they don't have the books themselves. There are whole channels out there who don't even show a comic book collection. Now, I don't care if you have a stack beside you of 10 books. I don't care if you have one book on a shelf somewhere that you've had since you were 10. You're a comic book collector. Okay. You follow me? You have put your hands on that book, right? You're not getting a couple of long boxes and making sure you have a comic book showing and stuff like that as a prop in the background. If you are coming out there and you are speculating, you're telling everybody they should have these books and you're not grabbing them yourselves or you're not showing them, are you the one putting them on eBay? I don't know. But there's something going on that if they are going to be so helping you, they're out to, just be Samaritans and help you and guide you through all this speculation stuff. Why do they not own the books? Okay. Number 7, they use Google. Now, doing research on a book, looking up characters for first appearances or just to get general knowledge of things that are out there that are comic related, not a big deal. Right. But you can tell when people have zero idea of what they're talking about and they have done some Google research, went to a Wikipedia page, and they're just sort of like parroting what they've read. This is like doing a book report where you found another book report and you're just paraphrasing, right? Why in the hell would you be listening to somebody that is not even knowledgeable on the topic that they're talking about? Think about that. They have an ulterior motive. They are putting on a performance for you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, some good comments in here. I might, when I get through this, I might look through there, man. Okay. And now the other thing is that this is the one you've got to be careful of. This is the one that this is the reason I have 11 things on the list and not 10. I didn't know if I was going to bring this one up, but I think it's important. This is the one that it is their use of body language. Now, this is the one that people can misinterpret really easy. I actually spent 9 years training people. I would have about 400 people a year come through my class. I would teach it once, twice a month for 9 years. Something called the MANT system, and it's a way of it's communication, reading body language, and restraining people with the clientele that I've worked with for many years and stuff, right? And the first thing that you do is you read body language and stuff to tell if somebody's getting agitated, if they are. So something I kind of looked up here because this is what we taught, and we're in the ballpark. The message you convey in sales conversation, also, we'll say sales conversation. You can look this up on the internet. It's 55% nonverbal communication in body language. Okay, 38% is your tone of voice, and 7% is the words you use. Now, we're going to get dry here for a minute, right? We're in class. 7% of the actual words. 55% is nonverbal communication in your body language, right? So basically, I can just go ahead and do this, man. Basically, what goes on is you can read people, right? It goes as simple as people who are like this or just all closed off and don't want to talk, and you can go by their posture. Then you have people that come out and their arms are wide open and they're using their hands a little bit and they act like they're excited, and you're picking up on those cues and where they're moving, they're excited and you're focused and it's drawing you in. It's a pitch, man. It's a sales pitch. It's a performance. Okay. Now that you're kind of aware of looking at things like, are people actively listening to me? Are they leaning in when I talk? Are they doing hand movements to make me think that they're getting what I'm saying? Are they doing things to draw me in and act like they're excited and stuff? It's a performance. It's a sales pitch. It's a performance. And the people that you have to really look out for, out of the irony of this is amazing, are the people that are really bad at it, or the people who are really good at it. Okay. Those are the most dangerous. These are the people that have the gift of sales, if you will. And the next thing you know, you have bought the Brooklyn Bridge and they were just so damn charming. And you thought, you're just like, how did that happen? Then you got the people that are really bad, who are so hungry for your money and stuff that they're willing to do anything but not put in the work to get your money. Okay. And the people in the middle are the ones where you're not sure. This could just be a guy doing a job. Could be a guy who's been doing this for a while and he's getting better, which is why you just don't hand over your money. You talk, you do the sales pitch, you read the fine print, you think for yourselves. You know what I mean? And a lot of these comic book speculators, with what I've been able to see, I'm no expert, but as part of my job, I've used it for a long time. And once you start kind of like, maybe if you're aware of that and you're in your friends and you kind of watch people and stuff, you eventually sort of pick up on what people are really trying to say with their body language. It's the kind of thing you do anyway, but you don't think about it. You know what I mean? But you do it for so long and you're aware of it for so long, you can see a bullshitter in no time. Okay. Wow, man, people are really taking off on this one. This is awesome. So yeah, the body language, why are they putting on a performance? Why are they trying to act excited to get you excited? All right. Well, we get bringing you in there. And again, there's things that I've watched that I wanted to be excited about, and I'm glad they were excited about, right? So all the people that have come in, we've jumped up in people watching this list. It isn't so much just one thing that should give you a red flag for people. It's a combination of things, 2 or 3 or 4. Even if somebody met 5 of this criteria that I'm putting out, it doesn't mean that they're out to get you, but it's enough to make you think. It's a combination. There's no real one thing that will do that. You know what I mean? It's life experience, and it's like being able to pick up on some red flags, at least to stand back and think for yourself. Okay. And now here comes to the big one. These are starting to tie in together. If you see, they will not engage with seasoned collectors, people who know what they're talking about, people who have done it for a while. Why do they do that? So let me paint you a scenario. Okay. Let's say you've been a carpenter for a while. You build houses, you own or work for a company, and There's just a certain culture there around carpenters where they talk about carpenter stuff, or they bonded and they talk about wife stuff, or they have inside jokes. And then it comes to your skills, to where they know a guy has a belt where he keeps all his tools and his hammer a certain way, and he can reach down without even looking and thinking, know where everything's at. And then he gets up there and he can work that wood and work those nails and stuff. It shows. Well, when you're a fraud, and you get around people who talk comics and have done this with comics, and you can get busted and called out. The whole big speculation that's been going on with the Marvel's preview issue of Miles Morales' first appearance ended up being a big sham. First of all, it's a Marvel's preview issue, not a comic book. I have recently been made aware through a person on Instagram and some other talk that some other group is trying to say that a children's book that you buy like in the children's section at Walmart is a big Star Wars hot book now. Okay. A collectible book. Like, I don't know, it's a first appearance. What's going on? Okay. You get around comic book people who can not only call out that bullshit, but tell you why it's bullshit, and also tell you that's not the first appearance. It turns out that Marvel's preview issue, you had to go back 2 or 3 issues if you wanted to go down that road. But people are hearing they're going to make money. And where are they making this money? On eBay. You see how all this is starting to tie together. Okay. It's a picture that I see in front of me where this all comes together. This is why you got to take parts of this list and see if they fit. Don't make them fit. See if they fit. Okay. But yeah, they don't want to engage seasoned collectors. They will, they'll sit there and just tell you you're old, or they'll try to, they'll tell you you're old. So, we're going to dismiss you, or they're going to try to say that you're just jealous because they have a bigger YouTube channel. My thing about the YouTube channels and the views is that if we're really going to talk about that, I think a lot of comic book speculators and a lot of the bigger channels, I don't know about 2 huge ones. They're not speculators, they're storytellers, but I'm going to be conservative and say that maybe 15,000 views a video. Okay, good for you. Good for you. And then you've got enough subscribers to get a YouTube plaque. Good for you. Good for you, right? Now go in and type in the word Barbie, Barbie, into YouTube. You are going to find channels and videos where the channels have millions of subscribers and the videos have 15 million hits per video. And it's little kids playing with their dolls. And that's a big YouTube channel. Okay. So let's just get that out of the way. Okay. But they think that they have, I don't know, I'm trying to think what the word is, position maybe, or they have clout because they can put on a good show, a good performance. Okay. You take away all the flash, the body language, all the things they do to attract the younger viewers, and you strip it down. It's a great show. A lot of flash. There's no substance. You're not really teaching anything. You're not really being knowledgeable on anything. You're kind of showing off. You're putting a lot of work in your performance, and we got to come back next week to see what other books you're going to tell us are hot, because the market moves that fast now. Okay. Then when they are called out, I can actually say I experienced this. They double down. They don't admit they made a mistake calling out the wrong book, but they double down because they were selling you something. And if they admit that they're at fault, then what they're selling you is at fault, is what I think. Allegedly, maybe, who knows? Okay. But when they got called, when it came out that the that the Marvel's preview issue was not the first appearance, I actually saw some speculating videos where they doubled down. Maybe they recorded the videos weeks before. Who knows how far ahead that they record these things? But that would also be another thing. How are they going to know what the hot books are 2 weeks from when they're recording, 1 week from when they're recording? If you're really going to keep up with the market in the way that they try, you have to be on the hot button. Okay? Unless you're going by eBay prices and not a real comic book guide. And then you're going to be ill-equipped to go to a comic book shop, a flea market, and know how much a book really is worth, how to haggle for it, and, have no idea what you're doing. And they're going to see that. And then all of a sudden, bam, you're a mark again. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to throw in. They also blame you with this one when they double down. Let me put it this way: they will put all this stuff out there. They will tell you what's hot and stuff. And fair enough, fair enough. They do not have a crystal ball, if you will. They have it both ways, man. Apparently, they have it both ways. They don't have a crystal ball. They are the experts that can tell you what books are hot. They can they can stick their head outside and tell you how the weather, what the weather is by sticking their head outside. They can tell you what's coming up and why. But if a book does not take off or there's a mistake, they didn't cost you money. You didn't do your own research, even though they have established themselves as the people who are going to make you rich. We're going to show you the books you need to get. All right. It's amazing. But yeah, it's not their fault. It's not you should have done your own research. We want you to watch, but you're a fool for watching. If you get burned, it wasn't our fault. You're a grown adult with your own money, And I want to throw in the bonus one, number 11. Okay. I call it water is wet. Kind of obvious. It's water. It's wet. For those times where it seems like, and like I said, I only watched 2 or 3 videos and stuff, and I didn't make it through a whole bunch of them, of a bunch of speculating videos and channels and stuff. The people will be anonymous, okay? Because I'm not really down to take anybody down. I'm just trying to help people have some knowledge on how to protect their wallet. Be their own man, be their own person, or whatever, right? But there reaches a point where with a younger crowd or people who haven't been in comics for a while, whatever age and stuff, that you come out and you start acting like you're knowledgeable. All right. Let's go back to the Silver Age Marvel. Swing a stick at some Silver Age Marvel books, any one you want, and just pull it up and it's going to be worth money. All right. But this happens to be a first appearance, or this is the first time this person's on the cover, or this person 10, 15 years later became huge, but here they are in the background and stuff, right? It's an illusion. It's another performance of where you take a book that everybody who is in comics knows is worth money, who just common sense. I have gone to flea markets where there have been people who knew nothing about comic books, and they would try to sell me a comic book that somebody had wiped their butt on, is what it looked like. And instead of trying to give it away for 50 cents, 25 cents, they want $50 because they point at the price and say it's a 12 center from the 60s. That kind of stuff, right? It takes all kinds, man. It takes all kinds out there. And that's the thing that kills me, is that they create the illusion with books that anybody who has even smelled a comic book would know is worth money. And it's an illusion of validation. And that is just sad. I don't know if it's sad that people were bold enough to pull this, or is it sad there are people that fall for this? Oh, Hallermouse, don't victim blame. I'm not victim blaming. We learn in life by getting burned. We have to learn the hard way sometimes. I just hate seeing people miss out on a hobby or something that could be really cool before they even get started. Okay. Blows my mind. All right. So to recap, since we have all these people here, if you go back to the beginning and stuff, right, you take the list that I put out there. This is not the end all be all list. Okay. I would love to see other people make videos where they make their list of red flags and things to think about and warning signs and stuff from their life experience. But you take 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and you need to start thinking about what you're watching and who you're listening to in all walks of life, on about anything. Nothing is for free. Second of all, comic book speculation and flipping have always been part of the hobby. Okay. Moderation. Whatever reason, there are people who like to gamble. There are people who like the high stakes and money of comics. They get an adrenaline rush for it, or they enjoy it, or it's their lifestyle, whatever. That's cool. All right. But it's when it starts affecting other people and they're getting misinformed and it's real reactionary and things are getting manipulated and doubled down on that are false. Okay. That's my problem with it. One person's problem. If this is going on allegedly. All right. So it's not a witch hunt. It's not let's take down a bunch of channels. It's not going after anybody. It's hoping that people reach a point to where they can wake up. They can reach that point where they slow down and they think for themselves before they let that money leave their pocket. There are people in life whose sole goal, and some people are good at it. Some people have a gift and it's not evil. But then there are people who put on a big performance and you're at a snake oil company being told you're going to get the cure. We're going to make you rich. Okay. We're going to make you rich. You buy the books. We're not going to buy them. It all makes this great big, huge sort of picture the more you think about it, how it all comes together and what you're seeing. Watch the body language. Watch the performance. Is it real excitement? Or are they trying to be open and honest and show you that I'm open and honest? I have to let you know I'm open and honest, and I have to show you that I'm excited, and you should be excited too. Okay. And then there's people who are really excited. Oh, that was good. Sometimes it's what's not said. Sometimes it's what not said that speaks volumes. So here we are. That's my list. I'm going to look through the comments here, see what's going on, and I got to go. All right. I just wanted to make sure that I got this out, and I appreciate everybody popping in. Right. So, like I said, do not go after comic books. Seriously, do not go after comic book speculators. That's not what this is about. Okay. This is about, like I said, again, this is about slow down. Don't get ripped off. There's a whole market of people who enjoy stuff like this. There's a whole market of people who don't know better. Live and learn. Okay. Live and learn. Okay. Tons of comments here, 36 minutes here, and we'll see what's going on here. And again, thanks for the super chat. The Simply Incredible podcast is here, and he's got his opinion on things. Mr. Bullets is here. Sanctuarity is here. I never knew Danny DeVito played the funky Flashman, but it fits, doesn't it? It fits. Okay. Mr. Gretzky, of course. Whoop. Oh, see, Woodward is here. 19. What's up, brother? We need to find some time to get together, do another show. That was fun. Are you going to need attorneys after this? I hope not. Never said it. It's one man's opinion. John C is here. What's going on? Oh, this is good. Paolo's out there. Paolo from the Cavern of Chaos show with us. Have they announced the Street Poet Ray movie yet? It's only a matter of time, brother. Oh, man, this is awesome. What we got here? Comic Collector is out here. What is going on with Stream Duck here? The problem is when it's all you do. I really like that statement. There we go. Dr. Silver Age is here. What's up, brother? We got another comment here. The spec thing hit my last nerve about a year ago. It's gotten absurd. I will agree that I think if you don't know, like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to get you. Comic Collector is out here. And apparently he remembers, or at least he knows about it. This is what I'm saying. This stuff will pass, guys. The Death of Superman sells for 5 times its original price cover. Good investment, All right, wave your hands around. It sounds like people are picking up on body language. Last Avenger 85. Well, let's get going. Mind the Comics is in here. I've been referred to as King Kong, I believe. Comic Collector, Paolo. We got here. I don't play the game. I just buy trades. Yet there are people. Come on. I don't know what's going on with Stream Duck tonight. Yet there are people paying massive amounts for Omnibuy. That's a whole other thing, I think. But I agree with you. Okay. Here we go. Try selling a dollar book for $300 at a flea market. You'll get hurt. There are flea markets that you could get hurt. Key is becoming just a marketing buzzword. Yeah, it dilutes the hobby. It dilutes the specialness for people. Once it goes away, it's going to be a dated term now. is what I think. That's how these things work. As soon as they become buzzwords or, groovy. Groovy used to be the thing to say, if you can believe that. Even if I was there back then, the words groovy would not have come out of my mouth in a serious, with a serious tone or meaning. You know what I mean? Comic collector Rob Ripa's there. What's going on, brother? Comics gatekeeper. A man tried to sell me a job. Oh, what is this? A man tried to sell me a job lot of Luke Cage books for £200. Fortunately, he was wearing a Last Jedi t-shirt, so I knew he could not be trusted. Like I said, it's all in what's not said sometimes. That's hilarious. What we got here? Oh, man, I figured I'd be going quicker through these comments. The collectors can't afford many books now. I speak from experience. That's right. All right. Get rich quick buying comics as they peak. That's right. Look, Here we go. C. Woodward. See what he has to say. Collecting right now in any hobby isn't easy right now, as it seems like everything is inflated by scalpers and speculators. Not just comics, but toys, retro video games, even cards. Yeah, I agree. I agree, and this is not the first time I've seen it happen. That's just the first time I've seen it hit so fast and so intense. Pat's Comics is out there. William Byrd is out there. Come on. I lived through the sports card bubble bursting in the 80s. Those people went to comics and the bubble burst in the 90s. Now it looks like it's at it again. They're just on steroids on the internet. I remember when the gaming community fell apart because of Gamersgate or whatever it was, and they tried to come over here and be part of a comic book community that was around back then. They didn't last long. Okay. All right, that's it. And Dave McKenzie popped in here. Groovy used to be, oh, come on, man. Groovy used to be a far out jive. Only the cool cats were grabbing it, Daddy-O. That's right. That's right. All right, guys. So thanks for popping in here. Thanks for everybody hanging in here. Thanks for the great comments. Gretzky, thanks for the super chat. That's fantastic. I appreciate it. And let's get, William Jennings popped in here. Okay, guys, I've already said goodbye. So make sure you, if you made it this far, check out the chat. Check it out. And later, guys. Be excellent to one another.